Welcome to another episode of Romanticizing Stockholm Syndrome. For those who aren't aware, the Stockholm Syndrome are positive feelings that you develop for your kidnapper during the time that you're being kidnapped. This can end up in the kidnappee and the kidnapper having a weirdly positive relationship to each other. If you still have questions, well, too bad. I'm your weekly dose of satire, not your educator. Best case scenario, ask your teacher about what Stockholm Syndrome is because your mother told you that you're experiencing it right now. Mafia bosses, vampires, and alphas. The big three tropes of Gacha who are basically allowed to do anything to another person just because they're hot. So also in Sold to Mr. Vampire. This is apparently a whole genre, which is problematic itself, and in the course of this whole movie, the vampire is doing horrible things to the protagonist and gets brushed off as cute, or I don't even know, but he is meant to be a good guy. Considering that the two main characters in 99% of all of the movies titled this way end up together, really rubs me the wrong way. But hey, at least this movie is giving us a disclaimer for everything except for what's actually inappropriate. I would also like to add that disclaimers are actually to protect people with traumas or certain sicknesses and not to justify your absolute stupid or terrible choices in movie writing. But of course, you're free to leave. Just ignore it. You don't need to watch it, right? No matter if you're offended by it or not, just go. For this, like many stories, we in fact do not get any exposition at all. We do not have any valid reason why the mother thought this was a good idea or how she even got through with this deal. There are only a few reasons where the transaction of a human being would even be possible in a way that you can hide it from the government to an extent that you can get away with it. And none of these are good. Seeing this honestly makes me sad knowing that these two are gonna get together at the end. Even though Mr. Vampire is able to teleport, they still use a car. I guess even a vampire has to flex. So forth, we do get the information that concludes that this person is indeed being held captive by establishing her failing to escape. It's not like I thought anything else of this anyway, but it's like that the movie confirmed it. But don't you worry, holding someone captive is worth a joke and indeed fucking hilarious. I'd like to have explained what trouble means. At this point, like, bitch, I don't think there's any worse situation you could be in right now. After the poor kidnapped girl fell asleep, Damien, the Mr. Vampire, is thinking about how much he is using her as a tool for his own plans while creepily staring at her. Reminder, we all know that these two are gonna get together, right? The next day, Damien gives us the information that he now needs to drink the blood of his newfound wife, and bites her, especially after she made clear that she doesn't want that. Which sounds like an extremely weird tradition, and I wonder if that's also happened if two vampires get married, or if vampires even have blood. Afterwards, he even claims that her blood doesn't even taste good. Like, excuse me, Mr. Vampire, could you, be satisfied with anything at any point, please? But she proceeds to hug him anyway. Hey, almost seems like she's being in an obvious terrible situation and looking for comfort by the only person that seems kind of familiar right now. Well, but why do I even think about the mental health in this situation? Like, look, this is such a cute, sweet moment. Yeah. The days and the nights, we will be together. In the next scene, we are meeting Damien's family, who apparently have some wrongdoings. Damien protects Charlie from it, but of course not without objectifying her once again. Oh, it's so cute how much he cares about her. He's protecting her from the evil man. Look, Damien ain't the evil, these people are. Just shift the role of evil person on this guy and leave it there forever. Damien is so caring for his properties. Anyway, this seems like an interesting family conflict. Evil dad with an evil scheme, but the mom is nice. Son feels the need to protect the mother. I bet you can't wait to find out more about that. But don't you worry, it's never brought up again, so we can focus solely on the genuine and cute and healthy relationship between Damien and Charlie. And right after they leave, Damien proceeds to guilt-trip Charlie. Why can't you be happy with me? Good question with a simple answer. Well, can you count me anything positive that you've done for her so far? because I can count you a lot of negatives. So far you have kidnapped her, locked her in, forced her to marry you, watched her sleep, and physical harmed her. And if this list isn't long enough for you yet, don't you worry, the next scene makes it even worse.
This is a thing called consent.
Here comes another completely useless scene of a dog that was spawned in just to entertain Charlie. Fun fact, in the case of JCD Dugat, a case where the victim started to have a positive relationship with her kidnapper bought her a cat, which made her extremely happy and involved her first positive feelings towards them. But no, I'm actually not directly comparing these cases. I think there's something else happening to this dog. I mean, since Damien doesn't like to drink the blood of his wife, he needs to get it from some other forces. Sounds like a classic case of guilt tripping your victim into doing something that they don't want. Isn't that cute and cool and funny? Of the course of this movie, I concluded it, but I didn't cut anything out. Like, did you see the feelings they had grown for each other? Did you? Wait, you didn't? Well, too fucking bad, because in the next scene, Charlie confesses her love for Damien. Charlie, just so we're on the same page here. So far, he kidnapped you, held you hostage, forced you to marry him, physically harmed you, objectified you, sexually harassed you, and guilt-tripped you. You sure this is the love of your life? I mean, I know that you don't have a choice in the matter, but like, you don't need to lie, do you? The creator of this movie didn't even involve a single scene that looks Damien did anything positive for her. Seems like even they don't believe he's a good person. After Charlie asks him why he specifically chose her to marry, he gives her the brutally honest answer that he just needed a wife to take over the throne, and she was the most convenient, because he found out that her mom wanted to sell her anyway, as his friend was looking for a wife as well. And then he asks him if he could have this one, convenience. Well, excuse me. Is this some freaking Amazon of human beings in this universe? You know that there's also more genuine ways to get a relationship, right? You know that, right? Or was he on Vampire Tinder and saw a chained up woman whose bio contained a price tag and a statement that this is all non-consensual, and he was like, hell yeah, that's the wife of my dreams. To make this seem less terrible, there's also a really forced context, which is a singular screenshot that led to lead that they've been childhood friends and Charlie promised to marry him someday. How sweet.
They might say, yes, please, that's kind of you. And then when the tea arrives, they actually don't want the tea at all. They remain under no obligation to drink the tea. They did want tea, now they don't. And you are still not entitled to watch them drink it.
Like, sorry, is this meant to make me root for him? Is this meant to make me think that he's a good person? Cause it's not working. The rest of the movie is really just a future chapter where you see how they ended up and that they have now children and they're so sweet parents and they're caring so much for their children. And look what a cute, sweet, wholesome, non-consensual couple they are. Mommy, how did you meet Daddy? Oh, he bought me and abused me for years until I felt obligated to stay because I failed to get out of the mindset that I'm dependent to him. Oh. Can't wait to do that myself. Moral of the story? If your predator is hot or a vampire or a hot vampire, it's romantic? I have no idea. No, okay, please note. I don't think I have to say this. I shouldn't have to say this, but if anyone ever does any of that to you, it's not good. It's bad. Please seek a therapist and the police.